Hey, good afternoon. I'm Richa Chudasma. I have been into the healing field since like 4.5 years now. And one of the very powerful techniques I have come across is integrated healing. We as healers believe that whatever problem comes into our life, be it relationship, be it mind-related or physical body-related challenges, it basically comes from a thought that we have been going on and on into our minds. And that thought has the power to generate an emotion. So let's say if I just get a thought that it's such a wonderful day. If I get up with that thought and keep playing that thought in my mind, how are my emotions going to be? Anyone? They'll be happy. They'll be good. I'll feel like going for my job. I'll feel like going out. And how will my energy levels be after a while? I'll feel fit. I'll feel energized, active. And when I'm feeling active, how's my physical body going to be? It will feel good. It will feel fit. Yeah. In a similar fashion, if I get up with a thought which is so-called negative, meaning what's so khas in this day, that whole routine and the same jhagda, ye, wo. And if I get up with that thought and I remain with that thought, can anyone tell me what's my emotional state going to be after a while? Come on. It's not going to be that great, right? I'm not going to have so much fun. I'll be lethargic after a while. My energies will droop down. And then as soon I'll feel tired, I'll feel feverish, I'll feel a headache or a backache and so on. So this proves that our thinking patterns are the root cause to any kind of diseases in our body. Be it mental, be it physical, or be it emotional. Like we carry so many things in our body. Our cells have their own intuitions to capture emotions, to release emotions. And according to the emotions that we feel majorly, our cells react. Our body is made up of millions and trillions of cells, and they have their own feelings that they've got. And according to the emotion, if they're good, the cell regeneration will be good. And if they're not so good, if it's haphazard, if they're negative, if we're feeling low about our own selves, or if we don't love ourselves, or if we hurt, then the DNA in the cell that will be regenerated will be damaged. And if that damaged cell collects in any particular part of the body, that's where we'll start developing diseases. So in my so-called little life that I've led according to y'all, I have observed many people who have healed just by knowing what's the emotional cause behind the disease. And so have I. I'll give you an example of my own life. I was in 10th and I was a very lazy student. I hated studies. So I never studied till 10th, and I realized one fine day that I have to study because it's my boards. And when I started studying, that was the time I realized that studies is interesting. Well, there is so much that I can know and learn out of each and every subject. Once I started that, there was a guilt that set in, that, oh shit, I've wasted so much of my time. I wish I had taken that interest earlier, I would have been a topper. And the minute that guilt set in, a month after that guilt, I fell off the staircase and broke my tailbone to an extent that I had to get it operated and removed. It was that bad. Well, I didn't know this thing at that time, so I couldn't save my tailbone from being removed. But later in the years, as I got into this healing field, I realized that it was the emotional feeling I felt so strongly of having just wasted my life sitting hatching eggs, which actually created and manifested a reality. Sorry? I'll come to that. Yeah, I'll come to that. So once I knew that this is the thought that was there, I was like, oh shit, I wish I could have saved my tailbone by then, But so this was my example. But we've seen so many people with huge diseases have an emotional cause to it. Now there are many ways to find out what is the emotional cause that's caused the problem in the physical body, or let's say relationship or any other thing. For that matter, even career. Because everything that's there in our life is because of some kind of emotional and thinking pattern that we have been having or had at a point of time, which is now creating that result. Integrated healing basically works on, it is called integrated, meaning working on all levels. So let's say once we know that what is the thought that's causing the problem, we can either work with the thought level from where it came, We can work at the emotional level from where it came. We can work at the energy level. We can also work at the physical body level. So for physical body level, we do yoga, we do exercises, we do medications. But does that really help? Medications have never helped me because I've always had the pain in spite of taking painkillers. Like my mother takes medicines for headaches, but it's never permanent. So for permanent result, we try and work on as many levels as possible. That's physical body, covering the energy level, covering the emotional body, and covering the thoughts that had affected the whole result that we've got. So if it's, let's say, something like cancer, cancer has been researched and proved to have emotional and thought pattern of lots of anger and hatred carried from a very long period of time, which sets in as dead cells in the body, causing cancer. Again, there are many techniques and ways to find out what's the emotional thing. Like you could use hypnotherapy, you could use theta healing, or in integrated, we use chakras. We use the knowledge of chakras, and through a pendulum, we check what chakra is affected, because every chakra, we believe, has its own emotional state. So throat chakra very naturally would have a communication skill. It would have your self-belief and esteem stored here. So if the chakra here is going imbalanced, then it would tell the person, the therapist, that there is some kind of emotional disturbance in this area. And there's a whole science, actually. It's come out through a lot of research and working with thousands and thousands of people, that we've seen every body part has its own sensitivity. And according to that sensitivity, it will store a particular emotion in a particular body part. So something like knee, we've proved that it generally has something to do with changes and flexibility. So inability to accept changes or go ahead with the changes, or lots of rigidity in an emotional level would lead to people having knee problems after a while. And I'm telling this with so much confidence because the minute we've given them affirmation otherwise, it's opened up their knee chakra and they felt relief almost instantly. So we work by affirmations not just at the thought, energy, and emotional level. At a point of time, we also work at the physical body level, because chakras are something that are energy centers in our body. So if a particular chakra is blocked, then the energy that we keep taking in from the universe from that chakra is something now it's lacking because it's blocked. So, okay, how do I know chakras work? Let's say if we haven't eaten since 2 days, but we suddenly get a good news that, oh, you know what, I've got a promotion, or my wife just delivered a kid, something like that. Won't the energy levels just boost up all of a sudden, even though we've not eaten for like 2 days? Happens, right? That's because when we're happy, our chakras are open. And when our chakras are open, we take lots of energy from the environment. And therefore, people can live without eating and drinking. Now, because of our emotional states, these chakras start blocking out. There's lots of dirt that comes in and then gets clogged. So it cannot take that much energy as it requires. And therefore, the chakra which is blocked will cause emotional and physical disturbance in that much organ. So if my throat chakra is blocked, slowly all these areas, my thyroid, my windpipe, all of these organs of my body will start lacking the energy it deserves and it needs to work, and therefore disease will set in. So the minute we reverse the chakra, we open it up again by any means. May it be pranic, or may it be radical, may it be affirmations. Even affirmations, very simple affirmations, can open up that chakra. And once it's open again, it will slowly start taking in the energy that this organ required. Therefore, the organ can start functioning again. Any doubts in this? Am I going too fast? Sure? Okay. Yeah, so integrated healing basically is about being aware of our thoughts and emotions, because only thoughts and emotions itself are so powerful that they can affect our physical body also. Like my small little guilt of just sitting and doing nothing caused me to have an operation of my tailbone. So if we can just know this difference, that everything that's in our life, including our relationships, career, our personal growth, or our physical body challenges, are basically due to our own thoughts and emotions, just being aware of that can ease out the body a lot. So something like diabetes, 90% of the people have told us that they have a holding back tendency, which means it's very difficult for them to let go of whatever's happened and to just flow with life the way it takes you. And therefore the pancreas suddenly also decide to hold back the insulin and causing diabetes. Any other diseases you all would like me to ask? I mean, Sorry? Obesity. Oh, okay. Obesity. I can talk so much on obesity. Okay. Obesity is actually nothing but a way of our body protecting us. It's like, when we feel threatened. Okay, let me give you an example related to money. Of course, knowing the growing rates of the world and the things becoming so expensive all the time, including vegetables and necessities, what would we like our bank balance to be? Real high, so that we don't have any problem in the future? The same way, fat and cellulite is the bank balance of our body and of our mind. So when our mind and body feels threatened, it will add on more layers of fat to keep us protected. Because that's the way it feels it protects us from other people, from other situations, from other harmful substances in the environment. So if you're talking of overall obesity, this could be the issue. So there's a basic feeling of being unsafe or threatened to a level because of which the body tries to protect you by adding lots of layers. Well, if there is a fat deposit only in particular areas, then we have to check the emotional state of that area. Like especially women with big thighs and hips. Yeah, they have a huge dependency issue. So at a level, they want to be dependent because they like being dependent and they've never been independent. But at a level, they don't really like to be dependent on either the father or the husband or the son or this or that. And therefore, there's a disturbance in the emotional level related to independence and dependency, therefore adding weight to the thighs. So, yeah. My arms. There's a lot of fighting spirit. I mean, arms are basically the need to fight. Again, let me share with you a little deeper insight on obesity. Obesity actually also, you've noticed some people are so thin, and no matter what they try, and they eat and still don't put on. And some people, even if they, and some people like me, even if they eat air, they put on. It's that way. But this depends on, well, again, deeper research has shown us that it all depends on the mother's state of emotion during the pregnancy. So if the mother's going through a crisis or a traumatic situation, and if she's in a high fighting spirit, the baby tends to catch that and is always on a fighting spirit level. And therefore, they remain extremely thin. And if the mother's in a flight mode, a runaway mode, but cannot do that, and the baby catches that, and they start putting on weight. So clearing that emotion from the baby stage, the womb stage, helps a person become in balance. Again, coming to arms. Arms is generally the need to fight, either to yourself or a feeling that others are fighting towards you. That kind of thing. Me? What about me? Yeah, possible. But again, I think this is more over my mother's tendency, which I'm working on. Because she was in a flight mode. No,